Okay. Well, hard fought win. Again, credit our guys for hanging in there. We didn't start the way we wanted to, obviously, but kept battling. That's a good football team. They're well coached. They got a lot of good players, and I thought we just hung in there and made some plays when we needed to. I thought defensively did a good job in the red zone, keeping them off the board there in the red zone, caused the turnover. They kind of jump-started us there in the third quarter. I thought we hit the quarterback and affected him a lot today on defense. And, the offense, again, didn't start how we wanted to, but I think we eventually figured out how to run it, and then, made some chunk plays, certainly in the passing game, that helped us. So, football season after Thanksgiving, and I think our guys are kind of starting to figure some things out here. Still got a long way to go, a lot to learn, but I think we've made some strides.
Josh, I got to imagine you're pleased with giving up one touchdown, 3 sacks by Chandler Jones, like you said, winning the third down battle, keeping him out of the end zone. What went into that today?
Yeah, we were a little bit more aggressive. Thought Pat really called a good game. I thought the defensive staff did a nice job of putting together a plan today that, we could kind of keep them off balance a little bit, play a little bit more man-to-man coverage, went after them a little bit in the blitz game, and then just, we tried to get them into some situations where it wasn't, 2nd and 3 and 2nd and 2, where they basically can do whatever they want. So I thought we forced some longer yardage situations where our guys could really kind of pin their ears back and pass rush, and thought Tillery showed up again inside Bilal. Some of those guys really kept the middle of the pocket compressed so our edge guys could make some plays. And again, it's a complementary pass defense. It doesn't work if you don't, if you're not tight in coverage and you don't, stop them from making those quick throws, then the rush sometimes can't get there. So I thought our guys did a decent job in coverage too.
Josh, I know you haven't seen the film, but in all 3 phases, it appeared that was probably the best performance so far of the team this year. Got smiles out of everybody, even when things weren't going good, including you. Is this the team, obviously a long ways to go, but where you envisioned in July, I think this is what we can be?
Yeah, again, I think every week's its own week, and this week's obviously going to be a very unique one for us. But I think, when you start out, you have to have an idea of what you want it to be like and what you want it to look like when you're doing it right. And, you never play a perfect game in football. It's an imperfect game. But I think that the way we compete, how tough and physical we're attempting to play in all 3 phases, again, I think we ran the ball well. I thought we stopped the run, decent today. And then, I thought we covered kicks, and all 3 of those things are, what we point to when we talk about toughness. And so I think our team has really bought in and believed in the way to try to win that way. And I think you start to see some of the fruit, of their labor here as we're moving through the season.
Along those lines, obviously complimentary football, but when you have a guy like Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, another 100 for Josh, 177 for Devontae, how much does that just take that operation and take it to a whole other level?
It takes it to another level, that's for sure. I think when you when you talk about those 2 guys, whenever you call something that, they have a good chance of touching the football, you kind of, you feel pretty good about it, and they're the reason for that. They come through over and over and over again in critical situations. And I thought Josh made a lot of hard yards today. It wasn't like they were like, gaping holes that he ran through and wasn't touched. I thought he really, fought his way through the line of scrimmage and kept his legs going and really had an opportunity to churn out a few hard yards. And then Tay just, what do you say? He just, keeps doing it over and over again. And, Derek gave him some chances and he comes down with them, So 2 really, really gifted football players.
Derek seems to be really active at the line of scrimmage recently. And, I know sometimes we take it for granted. This is, however many offenses he's played in. And you always think, he's the quarterback. He's going to master things just like that. But is it a growth for him learning your offense and then being able to manage it the way he has at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, definitely. I think, he works extremely hard. And, they present a lot of issues relative to communication. And probably the thing I was the most proud of today, I don't know if I'm 100% right on this, but we didn't get sacked and we didn't lose a yard in the running game, did we? And offensively, this is a defense that they create issues before you even snap the ball because they line up in so many different unique alignments and fronts and locations. And then you got Derwin James hovering around there somewhere, and then they pressure and blitz. And, that was a huge key for us last week, is to be able to get up there, identify what we're talking about, what we're going to block, and then get a hat in a hat and give our offense an opportunity. And I thought Derek really did a good job of studying film, taking the coaching this week, and then applying it along with Andre and the entire offensive line, tight end, fullback. I thought they really kept the runners clean, at least to get to the line of scrimmage. And then I thought they did a good job of protecting Derek.
You usually have 24 hours to enjoy a win, but I imagine that's probably cut in half with the Thursday game. Does that process start right now to start looking ahead?
Yeah, it's Wednesday night. So we just told them in there, it's Wednesday night for us. You do at least one of these a year. Maybe, once in a while you do a second one. But, it is what it is. We knew this was on the schedule. It's not a surprise. The coaches did a great job of working ahead Friday, Saturday, and probably a little bit this morning, just to prepare and be ready to go for tomorrow morning. And, the great thing about a Thursday game is both teams are in the same boat, so we're going to cram, they're going to cram, and nobody's going to do a whole lot physically in the next few days, and try to get as healthy as we can get, and then go out there Thursday with as much energy as we can bring, and then, go play the best football we can on Thursday night.
Long way to go, but your team has played its way into playing for something now. How proud are you that they didn't hang their heads and they kept at it and they've worked their way into this spot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely proud of them. We never really discussed records or where we stood, or we're not going to do it this week either. And the reality is nothing's been decided. Nobody's this or that or in or out or whatever, and it's really just about playing and coaching your best football. And if you can do that and improve, I really believe that the teams that are ultimately going to earn the right to keep playing are the ones that play the best after Thanksgiving. And so that's our goal each week, is we're going to try to figure out a way to do that and hopefully keep stringing them together.
Coach, Nate Hobbs' return was today. How did you feel about his presence on the football field, as well as some of the younger players that were up, like Sam Webb and Isaiah Palomau?
Yeah, we used every one of them. It's great to have Nate back. Nate's a unique guy, brings a skill set that is super competitive, great toughness. I thought he did a good job of matching some of their receivers tightly in man-to-man coverage, tackles. Just plays with a great effort on every snap. And we had a lot of young guys out there. Dylan, Thayer, Isaiah, Sam, Luke. Matthew Butler. So Zamir. So I mean, there's I think that's what this time of the year is about. You can never predict who's gonna be banged up and not able to play. And guys are always ready. They're all preparing to play every week, and I think a lot of those guys stepped up when their numbers were called today.
Josh, when this team wasn't winning, nobody took shots. Nobody gave whispers and took shots at you. They just kept believing in you. So as a man, 3 wins in a row, what's it mean to you that these guys believed in you and trusted you?
I mean, obviously that speaks to their character. And we've always just tried to be consistent with our approach, win, lose, or draw. We're not going to change that this week because we've won, we won today or we won 3 in a row. I think if you treat them with respect and continue to try to help them improve as football players, I don't know what else they could really ask of you. Give us a chance to improve and get better, and try to provide them with a plan that gives them a chance to win. And that's always worked for me wherever I've been, and I've seen a lot of great people utilize that. And I think our players are just, I think we have a great group. I mean, our captains are phenomenal. I've said that over and over again, but we have a lot of great guys in that locker room that continue to work hard and believe and improve, and they've never doubted it. I mean, look, when you lose, nobody likes the feeling, but I think how you respond to it's probably more important than winning. So we responded, I think, the right way, and now we've kind of figured out some things and have more to figure out going forward. You got it. Thank you.
See, I timed it up perfect. They were talking to Tay. No, I did it on purpose. Oh, this is good. Yeah.
Derek, this team continues to show character. When you guys were struggling, nobody took shots at anybody. They blamed themselves. Nobody took shots at Josh. And you're reaping the rewards of good seed. I'm just curious for you, the pride you have as a captain in that locker room.
Yeah, I think the character was on full display today. And watching our guys bounce back. I mean, we turned it over again twice. Why or the reason doesn't matter. I mean, it's what we did, and we just make it hard on ourselves. And then seeing everybody bounce back and keep believing, keep playing, and defense was playing great for us. Keep them, off the scoreboard and all that. So, it was a good, seeing both sides of the ball helping each other and playing that way, and the energy on the sideline was unbelievable.
I asked you on Wednesday about the mental mindset. When you have wins, how guys feel better. Yep. Today, even with the slow start, guys were laughing, they were smiling, they were having fun. How much of this has been able to learn a system and then mentally be able to now enjoy and play football?
Yeah, and if I'm honest, we're still in the middle of it. We're still learning. There's still things happening. It's not as efficient as I want it to be yet. And that's frustrating. But we're trying our best, and we're winning 3 in a row. We're winning football games, and that's what matters as we're figuring it out. And but to see guys, we're starting to get there, and we're starting to get some things dialed in and right. And sometimes it takes us a little longer than it should, but to see the energy doesn't change. There's no one stressing out. There's no one pressing. Because we all believe in what we're capable of, and we saw that on full display in this game again, just like last week.
Josh had some hard-fought yards, but the offensive line didn't really have any negative plays as far as his run game. What did you think about Josh, his effort, and how he pushed forward today?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's I've always said he's one of the best in the NFL, especially the way he's running with that mindset and that mentality. He's been unbelievable. But he'll be the first one to tell you the tight ends, Yak, and the O-line deserve so much credit on what they're doing and giving him just even a little space. I turn around sometimes and I'm like, I don't know, and then he squirts through. And he's up there on the safety, and he turns a 2-yard run or a 3-yard run into 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever. And it's those little hidden yards that, good run. No, like you can't overlook how special that is.
Devontae, your connection, obviously that's special as well. What right now is really clicking between you two that necessarily wasn't exactly clicking earlier on in the season?
Well, I think we're winning. If I'm honest, he's well over 1,000 yards. He's well over 10 touchdowns. Everyone said that none of those things would happen, and we still have a lot of football left. But when you win, everything feels better, if I'm honest. There's things that we're working on constantly because we never want to feel like even if it is getting like we're having big days, we don't ever want to feel like we have it. So we keep that constant pressure on each other, and if it doesn't look perfect, like if I don't throw it perfect, I'm like, hey, let's go throw it again. If he doesn't feel like it was perfect, he's like, let me run that again. So we keep that mindset. But I think as we win, now it's like, oh man, look at they're figuring it out. It looks great. And forgetting the big days that he had prior to us going on this win streak.
Derek, it probably seems like forever ago, but the last time you were up at this podium, you kind of laid it on the line.
Yep.
Got emotional about it and put it out there. Safe to say you feel like the guys in the locker room and everybody else in this operation responded accordingly?
It was a quick 3 weeks, wasn't it? Man, I feel like, for me, I think it was just the frustration and the anger of certain things, that I don't regret. Things needed to be said, things needed to be handled. And when you love a place and you love a organization, when you love something so much, you put your heart into it, And so to see the way we've responded since then, it makes me, it's a proud moment for me. I'm happy about it. But we got a long way to go until I feel really good about it.
Defense gave up 1 touchdown today against a pretty good offense. I'm sure that you're standing over their sideline pleased about that, right?
It's unbelievable. It makes playing quarterback so much easier, when you go out there and you don't have to force something because it's going to be a shootout, or you don't have to try and make a play when it's not there and make a bad decision and things like that. So the way they played today, if they can play like that, I've always said it, defense and being able to run the ball and throw it efficiently, that's what will help you win, get to the playoffs, and hopefully win a championship. And the way that they played today was unbelievable. The way that they tried to get after the quarterback, and the way they rushed and covered, the way they worked together. They're such a good football team. The Chargers are unbelievably talented, and for our guys to play that well was really impressive.
Obviously have a lot of pride, as do a lot of guys. But when you see something like Chandler Jones, who maybe it wasn't working out for in numbers, throughout the course of the season, for him to have the game like that he had, your thoughts on that?
I know. I just know it was a relief for him, But we're in a day and age where like numbers are like what compare people as good players or bad fantasy points, good or bad, and things like that. And it's the way he's been playing the run this year has been unbelievable. The way he's set the edge, the way he's, there's a lot more than just a stat, a touchdown, a sack. He's played really good football. Obviously, as a pass rusher, you want sacks. You want to get the ball out. You want to do those things. And so I know that there was some kind of relief there, but it's not like he's been playing bad football. We have two good rushers. On the outside, and people chip them all the time. They're doing different things and all sliding to one and chipping the other, doing that. And so to see that kind of break free for him today was really cool.
Usually get 24 hours to enjoy this. It's probably cut in half or something along those lines for Thursday's game, if even that. Yeah. Does that process start like right now to start getting ready for your next game?
Absolutely. Today's Wednesday. And the main thing, the thing I was saying, I didn't get hit in the ribs again, so I'm happy about that.
One more to Sean. In the locker room, Devontae Adams said one of the biggest differences from early this season to now with you and him is just the efficiency. What's gone into the growth in that area?
A lot of hard work. We try our best. We knew it'd be a growing process. We haven't played with each other in a decade almost, and even though we train together, we're both training for different things. And so, working this off season and working this season, the best training is in the games. And it took time, but also I think that everyone's feeling better about it because we're winning, and when you're winning, then the numbers are like, oh, wow, they're a top 10 passing offense. They're a top 5 rushing offense. Devontae's, oh, wow, he's having a huge year, and all this kind of stuff. The winning helps that, Numbers don't matter until you win, and then it's exciting, and we know that. That's the NFL. But I think for us, we just try and keep the mindset that we'll never get to where we want to get to. And if we can keep that mindset and keep striving to get to where we want to get to, and just having that feeling of, man, we've never made it, I think we can get better as we continue. But he made some unbelievable plays today down the field for us, and that one-handed catch was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life.
All right, thanks, Derek. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.